It's time for Be in the Driver's Seat with Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and mental health expert, Dr. Teresa Moore. A Saturday morning mix of cars, credit, and wellness created just for you. Brought to you by Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet of Waterford. Plan your next vehicle purchase or get your credit rolling in the right direction with Regina today. And now, Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and Dr. Teresa Moore.
Good morning. You are listening to Be in the Driver's Seat, and I'm your girl, Regina, the Queen of Car Loans. And who am I sitting next to every Saturday morning at 8:30 from 8:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.?
Listen, good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. It's Dr. T. I'm so excited. I love when Regina introduced me, y'all. I'm so excited this morning. Happy Saturday, everybody.
So listen. We want you to get your pen and your paper ready because this show is dedicated to anybody and everybody that's had a mental health issue. And myself, I have a mental health issue. You know why? It's because sometimes I have problems with saying no to people I love, right? And so everybody has a mental health issue. Something's going on. Somebody needs to talk to it. Everybody needs to be able to talk to a therapist, right? You got to talk to somebody. Your therapist can be your friend, your best friend. Actually, it needs to be somebody licensed if you really think about it, right?
Say that
because
again.
Dr. T don't know she's my therapist now, but she's my therapist. She's my friend. She's my little sister. Actually, this show is dedicated to her. She didn't know this, but her 50th birthday is coming up in January. And I just told her this morning, I said, you know what? We need to dedicate the whole hour to her. And you know why? Because we're in her lane. We have this phenomenal guest this morning, and it is right up your alley. So get your pen, get your paper. Give a shout out to Dr. T. When you see her in person or you on Facebook, you can go to Be in the Driver's Seat, or you can go to Dr. Teresa Moore on Facebook. Give her a shout out and tell her happy birthday early. She'll be turning 50. But today, again, is dedicated to Dr. T. I'm going to let her flow this morning, and I'm talking right now because I'm not going to do that much talking during this whole show.
We're going to see.
But go ahead. Take it away, Dr. T.
So good morning, everybody, again. Thank you so much, Regina. Yes, I will be turning 50 fly in fierce, okay? So I want y'all to get ready because there's going to be some stuff coming. But I'm so excited today, and I'm excited about mental health, period. So if you all know me, you know that this is dear to my heart. I like to see people healthy, happy, and whole, and it is important that you get in front of somebody that can help you. So today, we have a special guest in the building. I am so excited. Miss Orma C. Smith is in the building. Good morning, Orma.
Good morning, Dr. T.
Yeah. So
And Regina.
I'm just like a little fly on the wall that's gonna talk sometime. But let me just say this, and I'm gonna be quiet for a minute. Healthy, happy, and whole. That's what you love to see.
Healthy, happy, and whole. So I, for those of you who know me, I always talk about the 3-step process: feel, deal, heal. And that's the process to getting healthy, happy, and whole. When you allow yourself to feel, then you can begin to deal with the things that's going on and then allow healing to take place. So this segment is special to me. As we were talking, Orma and I, when I asked her to come on, first of all, Orma has a spirit that drew me into her. And she was also my mirror at Pathways 2 Christian Center. So we both contract out of Pathways. But I really was drawn to Orma. And Orma has a persona about her that illuminates healing. So today I'm excited. So Orma, let's just get started. You excited?
I am excited.
So some of the things we'll be talking about in the segment today is emotional self-regulation. We'll be talking about spirituality and mental and emotional health. And we'll also be talking about self-care. Okay, so y'all get ready. Buckle up. Take your pens and paper. Get ready to take notes. So Orma, let's talk. Tell everybody who you are and what you do.
First of all, I have to say I'm turning 50 on Christmas Day this year, so we are right there together.
Y'all see me doing the gin in the
Wait, I'm still 40, guys. So I'm still 40.
Oh, you just look amazing. Amazing. I love it.
So let be in the driver's seat be the first one to say happy birthday to Orma. Christmas Day.
Birthday,
Come on,
happy
happy birthday. Double celebration.
So I am Orma Smith. As you mentioned, I'm a licensed professional counselor. I'm also a licensed school counselor, and I hold both of those licenses because I work in the mental health field, but I also work in schools. So I do therapy 3 days a week at Pathways to Counseling Center. I love that work, helping people find wholeness. I integrate spirituality into therapy when the client allows it, because obviously you do have to have permission to do that in that space. But it's a very important part of my life. And when the client is able to allow themselves to be open to that, it allows them to reach a place of wholeness within themselves as well. So I do love being able to do that with my clients. I work in the school systems doing emotional self-regulation. A big part of it is social emotional learning is really what we do in the school space, but I also do some college planning in that space as well, which is another aspect of it. But I love the social emotional learning.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Regina does the Queen's Future Successors. And so I know as those young people are growing up, I'm pretty sure that Regina could use some of your expertise for the Queen's Future Successors.
We could
So
definitely
I'm so
connect.
thankful that you
Yes.
talk about the college access and
Yes.
success. So we're not just talking about, going into the schools, dealing with the child one time. You're talking about actually allowing, dealing with them as they grow and get ready to graduate and go to the next level. That's good. So listen, one of the things you have listed is your motto is be light.
Yes.
What does be light mean?
Yes.
Because I know what the word says, right?
Yes, exactly.
So the word says, let our light so shine so others
Right.
can see and glorify our Father which is in heaven.
Yes.
But what is be light to
Yes.
Orma Smith?
Yes, what that means to me, and it's funny because I borrowed it from my alma mater, Kalamazoo College. Be Light is the actual school's motto. But when I was drawn to that, people always tell me that I light up a room, right?
All right.
And I recognize it. I've learned to own it because when I'm around people, there is an energy that I get just being in the presence of other people.
Absolutely.
But also the energy they receive from me because God is in me.
Yeah.
And I know that. And so I desire to take that light everywhere I go.
Come on.
And so I'm in the grocery store, I'm at home, I'm walking down the street, wherever I am, I want you to feel the presence of God. I want you to feel that light. I will smile at you, whether you smile back or not.
That's good.
I want to bring light into this world.
Well, you know what? I am a firm believer that we are atmosphere shifters.
Hello.
So if you're an atmosphere shifter, every atmosphere is supposed to shift when you
it.
enter in the room. So come on, let's talk some more, because we could go that way because, Orma, you are not just the speaker, but you are a minister and an intercessor.
Yes.
And so, most of us are called to intercede,
Yes.
enter into a session.
Yes.
So when we have clients come and enter into a session with us, the reason why I say we are atmosphere shifters is because we are, just like we go to the altar to get altered, right? We carry an altar with us. So when people come in our space, they're coming to get altered.
Yes.
They're coming to get altered. So talk to me a little bit about your reason why you do what you do.
I do what I do because people need healing.
Yeah. What is healing?
Healing is transformation. Healing is change.
Yeah.
Healing is moving from brokenness to wholeness. And that could come in many different ways. And I tell people all the time, going to therapy does not mean that there is something wrong with you.
Absolutely.
Not at all. I have a
Absolutely.
therapist.
I do
right?
too. Come on, Regina just told you she did too, right?
Exactly. Going to therapy just means that there is something in your life that is out of alignment. It may need some shifting. You may need a little bit of it's like having a tune-up sometimes,
Yeah.
right? And you just say, I need a little help. Guide me along the way. You go to a medical doctor to take care of your medical issues. You go to a therapist to take care of things that are outside of that realm.
Yeah.
So it's important to go to therapy.
Well, let's talk about the reluctance, though, because, as we talked about, even on the way up into the station, we talked about this time of year is kind of, heavy.
Yes.
Heavy for people. Anxiety is on the rise. Depression is on the rise. So, let's kind of dive into that. one of the things in your book, so everybody, I failed to mention that Orma does have a book. She is an author, and she has a book that's out here that she co-wrote with a motivational speaker, and it's called Jump, Just Understand My Perspective. And so one of those things that I saw in one of your topics, I saw is kind of giving hopefulness to somebody. Mm-hmm. So let's kind of talk about, how are you a hope pusher?
I'm a hope pusher in that when people come into my office, and hopelessness is a common challenge that people deal with. Yeah. They have sometimes been beaten up by life. They have a lot of circumstances, maybe multiple things that come to them that just drain them of hope. I work with them to begin to shift. Let's find something. Let's find a gift in you. A lot of it is focused and centers on themselves, because people will disappoint you.
Absolutely.
And they can run down a long list of disappointments in their life. So I try to have them focus in on what has gone right. What is going well? What can you do well? So we begin to shift that mindset and look at what is the good. If they allow me to, and if it's something that they do, we talk about spirituality.
That's good.
We talk about God. We talk about or whatever their spiritual perspective is, because that is important too. Is everyone isn't a Christian?
Absolutely.
So what I do with my clients who are not Christians, what is your spiritual background? Let's talk about that in your realm, and how does that help you and work with you, and we go from there.
I love that. And so let's just go back. You try to pull out what's inside of the person.
Yes.
Like, let's draw from your strength. And it just reminds me, what's in your hands?
Girl.
What do you have in your hands? What can you take with what you have to change this situation? Yes. And I love how you talked about hopelessness, because oftentimes people are in places and spaces that they hide very well. So, God makes our frame look good. I'm a firm believer of that. But a lot of us suffer with things every day that people don't know about. So kind of talk to me a little bit about, acute depression. Since we're right here, people you're seeing people deal with more depression and even anxiety. Let's talk about acute stuff that just is happening right now.
So when we talk about that, acute depression versus severe depression, people can. I'll be in my book. I share openly that I suffered with depression.
Let's talk about it. This is transparency right here.
Tried to take my own life 3 separate times.
Okay.
Wow.
I was a highly functioning depressed person. I just told you my smile lights up a room, right? I just told you that everybody loved me. I was the one who was just happy and highly functioning, doing well, successful, college graduate, all these wonderful things. 3 separate times. Was saved all 3 times. It's talked about in the book. I'm not going to jump into that. But literally in the preface talks about the jump piece, because that's part of my co-author said, Orma, you have to write the story.
Yes.
And you have to talk about it, because I tried to jump.
Okay. So listen, Orma, we got so much to talk about and cover, but we're going to take a break. We'll be right back after this break, because Joe Lunghamer has called and told Regina, it's time to take a break.
All right.
So we'll be right back.
Regina, the Queen of Carlones here with Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet. If you're looking to get into a new or used vehicle with affordable rates, I can get you financed today. My lenders are making unheard of deals where others are simply cannot. This month, ladies, I'm hooking you up with hair and makeup from Glamorous Rebel Hair and Beauty in Sterling Heights for the first 10 people who buy a new or used car from me. You'll be riding in style with the Queen, Regina the Queen of Carlones. Just Google Regina the Queen of Carlones.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
My name is Marilyn Walker, and I am your advocate attorney. For over 25 years, I've helped your friends and neighbors by providing solid legal advice and strategy during difficult times. My clients will tell you that I am experienced, knowledgeable, caring, and reasonable. If divorce, custody, support, or visitation are critical issues facing you, stop worrying and call me, Marilyn Walker, the advocate attorney, at 248-332-2227. Allow a skillful lawyer to advocate for you. Looking to buy or sell your home? Whether you're relocating to Michigan from another state or another country, moving across town, upgrading, or downsizing, Brenda D. Davis from Century 21 Town and Country Real Estate is your locally known home purchase expert. Buying or selling your home is a complex process. Let Brenda simplify it every step of the way. Brenda D. Davis, the realtor that moves you. Call 248-909-9711 and get moving on your new home purchase or sale today.
today. That's 248-909-9711. Call now.
Are you sinking farther and further in debt? Tired of living paycheck to paycheck? Facing garnishment, repossession, or foreclosure? Thinking of filing bankruptcy but still have questions? Call Lewis Law at 248-785-3780. Attorney Lewis has over 20 years of experience handling Chapter 7 and 13 bankruptcies. The bankruptcy code is complicated, and you need an experienced attorney to guide you through the process. We can take care of your bankruptcy and probate needs. Call Lewis and Law, 248-785-3780. We are a debt relief agency. We can help people file for bankruptcy under U.S. Bankruptcy Code. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. We're back, and you're still listening to Be in the Driver's Seat. I am Regina, the Queen of Car Loans. And listen, this show again is dedicated to Dr. T. It's her birthday coming up in January, and she has her early birthday present from the Queen. One of them, because she thinks she's getting several because she's going to be 50. I'm still 40 again, 40 and holding, but it's show time. It's show.
Listen, thank you so much, Regina. So I got the spotlight today, y'all. So listen, I am back. We are back with Orma C. Smith. She is a therapist, author, and educator. And prior to the break, we were talking about highly functioning depressants. So Orma, let's talk a little bit more about what highly functioning as a depressant looks like.
Okay. So when you are considered a highly functioning depressant person, your outside looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
You are.
Wait a minute, say that again. One more time, please.
Your outside looks amazing.
When you're what, though? When
you
you're
are
what?
a highly functioning depressed person, your outside looks amazing. You are clean. You are, if you're wearing makeup, you're wearing it well. Your clothes look good. You're getting up, you're going to work or school, whatever you're doing. You're getting things done. Mm-hmm. But on the inside, you are broken. You are hurting. You're behind closed doors. You're crying. You are struggling. Mm-hmm. And the reason that you are able to get those things on the outside is because you feel like you have no choice. Mm-hmm. You have no options. The level of responsibility, the weight is heavy. But you get it done because in your mind you have to. And if you don't, as a matter of fact, if you didn't have those responsibilities, you would probably break. Because that's what's holding you together. Wow. But the pain on the inside is so deep. It's so hard that you're struggling. A lot of people self-medicate in those situations. Mm-hmm. They may even be addicted to substances, whether it's over-the-counter medications or maybe even, sometimes marijuana or alcohol, things of that nature, because they're trying to cope and keep those things together. But you don't notice it because they're functioning well. They're getting things done, right? Wow. And as I shared with you right before the break, at one point, I was a highly functioning depressed person. People did not know. Wow. I mentioned before, I had that smile that lit up a room. I was getting things done. I was the golden child. But I had things that happened in my life that created this thing on the inside of me. The pain was there, but I moved through it and I got things done.
Orma, that is amazing. I know that there are some people listening right now that can identify with being able to function in their state or wherever they is, highly function, get stuff done, but they know that there's something not right. But I just want to, take a moment to read a little snippet out of your book, Jump. Mm-hmm. And you said, I was literally ready to jump out of a window. Mm-hmm. The pain I experienced was so heavy and deep that I could not see past it, and I felt like my life was over. Talk to the listeners about that place and space you were in at that time.
I was overwhelmed to the degree where I was ready to give up.
Wow.
And I think it's important to note, it was heavy. And if you keep reading, you'll notice I was married. Mm-hmm. I had my first child.
Yeah.
Graduated grad school. We had just bought our first house.
Wait a minute. Let me just interject right here. Married, mm-hmm. So that means you weren't isolated in a house by yourself.
Exactly.
You had a husband, child,
mm-hmm.
in school, had a job, first house. So you were really functioning. You had the White House
trappings
with
of success,
picket fence, the kid.
Exactly.
You had all of what some people strive to get. Yet and still, you were suffering.
Let me tell you what I didn't do.
What is that?
I had not gone to therapy to process trauma.
Yes.
At that point in my life.
How important is going to therapy to process trauma? Because, if I could be honest, we are in a society where we love to put Band-Aids on areas that need stitches. So talk to us about processing trauma.
As a person who went to grad school to become a counselor.
Come on here. First of all, licensed
the
therapist.
irony, right?
So, let me say this though. So no disrespect to those that are not licensed or those that are coaches. Listen, but when you go to school and you are trained to be a therapist, when you are trained to learn certain tools, that makes a difference in the lives of the people you're serving. So come on, let's go, Orma.
I was in my last year of grad school, and I think that going through all of that, stuff started coming up.
Yeah.
And it was dredging up stuff that I had pushed down and buried so that I could function.
Ooh, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me we bury stuff?
Yes.
We bury stuff? How do we bury stuff?
You push it down so deep, you don't think about it, you push it to the back of your mind. Sometimes you pretend like it doesn't happen, so that you could function, so that you can make life happen. Because it's a coping mechanism.
Oh wow!
It's a way to cope. It didn't happen. And for me, it was a way for me to just continue in life. Even though symptoms were there, I had the anxiety, I had all those things, but I was able to move through them. But the problem was, being in grad school to be a counselor dredged it all up.
Yeah.
Because I'm reading stories about people who went through what I went through. Right? I'm having to do studies about people who went through what I went through. And so,
Orma, you didn't process this. Now it's coming up. You got to do something with it. So, Orma, do you think that people that actually, when people think about becoming who they are, right?
Yes.
Whatever their career is, do they have to go through some stuff in order to actually walk in the footsteps of what they're doing?
I
don't know if that makes sense.
Ask the question one more time.
So I'm the queen of car loans, right?
Yes.
And everybody think that it's always been easier for me to get a car, right? But when I was younger, right, my dad, I couldn't get a car because I didn't take care of my business. I didn't take care of my credit, right? I was in college. My dad had to I knew how to give advice to people, right? But I wasn't doing it, right? And I didn't know that's what I was doing. But when I got my first car, my daddy had to put in his name. Do you have to go through some things in order to become who you are? Is that's reframing the question?
Say experience is the best teacher.
Yes, is experience the best teacher?
I think in most cases, yes. Do I think that you can go to school and learn something and be good at it? Yes. But do I think that experience deepens your skill? Yes.
Gotcha.
Right? Okay. I think it definitely. I think that going through what I went through does help me with my clients. But let me say this: you can still go to school. I don't have to be a man to be a counselor to a man.
That's right.
Right.
What you say?
Because I'm not experienced like as a man. I can still be a good counselor to a male. I don't have to be this, that. So you can, so that's my point.
But let me say this, I mentioned to you all, oftentimes we think that the fields we're in, that we actually pick them, but really majority of us that are in the fields we're in, it's innate. It was already in us. Before the foundation of the world, the Lord had already ordained for us to be who we are. And so to me, I feel like when you really walking into your calling, you will see the manifestations of that. So I truly believe that we all can learn because we're all lifelong learners. So I can go to school and learn how to sell a car, Regina, but I'll never be the queen of car loans because that's not who I was called to be. Right. And you can go to school to be a therapist, but you'll never be Dr. T because God didn't create you to be Dr. T. So we all have our own handprint. So you got to create your own lane. Well,
right,
the Lord, we all have our own handprints, right? And so my handprint will never be your handprint, but your handprint is still important in the world. Right. And because of your handprint, it's the only one. It's only one queen of car loans, and there'll never be another one.
Yes.
It may be some that come behind, just like Orma. There'll never be another Orma C. Smith. There'll never be another Dr. Teresa Diane Moore, but there'll always be God. So as long as we have God, because he changes not, we'll always be where we need to be if we surrender and submit. So let's talk about that portion, right? So let's talk about the minister section, because one of the things that I've learned being in the counseling field is that, a lot of things that we go through, we become very gifted in those things and teaching other people once we go through them, right? Because especially if, you have God who will shed light, the Holy Spirit who will show you things, right? Reveal things, right? So let's kind of talk about that. How does ministry play a role in how you service your people? Now, you did tell me you opened the door and asked them, can you bring them in? But I smuggle Jesus in every day. I smuggle him in every day, regardless if somebody say they believe or not. He's in me. Yeah. So I don't wait for him to show up. He's already with me. So I smuggle him in every session. But how have you noticed that him being, having the spiritual piece in a session changed the direction of the session?
So I'll say this. I had a client say to me, I feel the presence of God in this space. And this is a client who is not churched, I'll put it that way.
Okay.
A client who...
Well, wait, let's talk about church. What's church?
Church. She doesn't...
What's church, though?
She doesn't attend a church. She doesn't really... She's kind of believes, but not
Bedside
really.
Baptist.
Right?
Yeah, that is hilarious. I love it. She really doesn't... And she doesn't have people in her life who pours into her, who... That type of thing. And she really said to me one day, actually after she left, because she left... my care. She says, Orma, I really felt the presence of God in the room when I was with you, and I'm going to miss that, right? And hearing that from her, especially considering why she was seeing me, was extremely affirming for me, because we didn't talk about God a lot in that space, but for her to say that was extremely important. And for clients, I've had a client who was agnostic, just didn't really want to talk about it, but called me out of the blue one day and said, can you pray for me, right? And so that's my marketplace ministry. That's what I consider that therapy space. And you say you smuggle God in, that's exactly kind of what I feel like I do, is the presence of God is on me. I go every morning when I go into my office, I pray the same prayer. And then I say, God, let me decrease and you increase in me. Use me as your vessel. Give me what my clients need. I call them all by name. Yes. And then I allow Holy Spirit to give me whatever the Holy Spirit needs to give me for my clients. That's good. If a client allows me to, they will ask me to pray. I pray with them only with their permission. And in that space, that's when things come. They're like, ooh, how did you know? Holy Spirit told me that wasn't me. That type of thing. That's when it comes in.
I love it.
That's my lifestyle. So when it's your lifestyle, you understand
exactly.
it. Right?
Yeah. So that's how it comes into that space. But even just in regular, just doing my job, because we are trained. We have theories. We have all different types of theories and techniques that we use with our clients. And those things are amazing and they work. But for me, they are not as effective without that other layer and that piece, right? They all have to come together. And I was just pulling up my notes on my phone because I believe in the biopsychosocial spiritual model of therapy, right? You have to, and I can explain that briefly. I'm pulling it up so I don't get it wrong. But we have to talk about that.
Let's talk about the bio.
So when we talk about the biopsychosocial spiritual, the biological has to do with your physical body, right? Yes. I ask every client, every session, regardless of the diagnosis, how are you eating, how are you sleeping?
Yeah, we have to.
Because if you're not eating right and you're not sleeping right, something's going on.
That's right.
If I have to refer you to a doctor to make sure that it's not something physiological, we can do that. But let's talk about it. What's going on with you, right? Psychological. What is your thought? What are your thought patterns
right now?
Because sometimes your thought patterns, you can create something that can mess up your relationship.
Absolutely.
Right.
And now you got to restructure those thoughts. You have to refocus and reframe them.
And reframe them and create those issues. Your personality, your social, the cultural piece, your relationships, how are you connecting with other people.
Or not connecting with other people,
right? Your cultural background. What is it about your culture? I have to understand my client's culture.
Absolutely.
Because it may be different than mine. If I don't, I am doing a disservice as a therapist if I don't know your culture and I'm trying to help serve you.
Yeah, because we can be offensive. If you're not really educated on the culture, you can be very offensive.
Exactly.
And then that's almost dismissive to your client.
I had a client. I love this client. He walked in with his white guy, leather jacket, tattoos, biker boots. He came in, and at first, when you looked at us together, you're like, "This isn't a good match." That man stayed with me for the longest. We made a perfect match. Tattoos all over his face. He said, "Orma, I'm going to tell everybody to get a black female therapist."
Oh, yeah.
This
love
is amazing.
it.
You are phenomenal.
I love it.
But why? Because I entered into his space.
Yes.
I let him be himself. I did not push anything on him.
That's good.
Yes.
That's good.
And I let him be himself. But I had to enter into his space.
Yes. And so, Orma, I'm so glad you're talking about that, because oftentimes we feel like we have to make others enter into our space. When they come and sit in the room with us, our job is not to push us on them. Our job is really to, okay, let's talk. Really, let's talk. Let's set the atmosphere so we can work. So we'll be right back to finish this up. But I just want to say, y'all, I hope y'all got y'all pencils and papers, right? So we'll be right back. We have to take a break because Joe Lunghamer has called Regina, said, Regina, it's time for a break. We'll be right back.
Regina, the Queen of Car Loans here with Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet. If you're looking to get into a new or used vehicle with affordable rates, I can get you financed today. My lenders are making unheard of deals where others simply cannot. This month, the first 10 people who buy a new or used car from me will get a $75 gift card to Times Square Men's Custom Suits on Livernois Avenue. Suits for all occasions. Ride in style with the Queen. Regina, the Queen of Car Loans. Just Google Regina, the Queen of Car Loans.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
Regina, the Queen of Car Loans here with Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet. If you're looking to get into a new or used vehicle with affordable rates, I can get you financed today. My lenders are making unheard of deals where others are simply cannot. This month, ladies, I'm hooking you up with hair and makeup from Glamorous Rebel Hair and Beauty in Sterling Heights for the first 10 people who buy a new or used car from me. You'll be riding in style with the Queen, Regina, the Queen of Car Loans. Just Google Regina, the Queen of Car Loans.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
We're back, and you're still listening to Be in the Driver's Seat. I am Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and who?
Good morning, everybody. It's Dr. T.
So, Dr. T, we got our first caller that has called in. This is Deborah, all the way out of Southfield, Michigan. Shout out to anyone that lives in Southfield. Southfield, Michigan's in the house. Woo-hoo. Good morning, Deborah.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your question for these ladies?
Well, ladies, my question is, in today's world, with all the negativity that we're hearing and from so many different sources, if you don't look at the news, it's coming across your phone, what can we do daily to help keep us calm and maintain our peace?
Ooh, you want to take that, Orma? Go ahead.
That's an excellent question. Thank you for asking. I think that first and foremost, you think about what is your center. What is the thing that keeps you grounded? What brings you peace? For some people, it is a spiritual practice, whether it's meditation, whether it's prayer, whether it's listening to music. I'll be honest, I try not to actually watch the news. I read it. And I read it because it helps me filter what I can look at, because watching the news brings me stress. But I also listen to music that allows me to feel better about myself. Try to surround yourself with people who can bring positivity to you. Try to seek out the positive. Try to allow it to be drawn to you and draw it to you, because you can't control other people's responses and behaviors. You cannot control what they are doing, but you can control what you take in.
Oh, that's good. That's good. You know, Miss Deborah, I appreciate the question. And another thing I would like to add to what Orma said is that I commend my day. So I command what's going to happen in a day. So when you talk about what can we do daily to promote peace, then I begin to speak peace over me. That today the peace of God is going to guard me. It's going to guard my heart and my mind. I begin to say this is going to be a great day. Whatever my hands find to do shall produce. So I begin to speak over myself. So that's how starting with commanding my day, whether if you're a religious person or not, you can speak out what you want the day to look like. So thank you for asking that question.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. Yes.
Well, Deborah, thank you for calling in. Deborah, all the way up Southfield, Michigan. Thanks for calling in.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so we're going to continue this conversation. I know that you ladies actually was talking about before the break. Was one thing you guys wanted to key on in. Let's bring that to the forefront right now.
So one of the things I wanted to talk about, I was looking in Orma's book, right? And so one of the things I saw that really was highlighted to me, a shared load is a lighter load. So I know that there's many that's listening today. You may be single parents. You may not be in relationships. Or you may even be in a relationship. But Orma, let's talk a little bit about a shared load being a lighter load, because it takes a village to raise children. It takes a village. Even every person needs somebody, right? No man is an island by themselves. And so even in the beginning, God created Adam, but then he created Eve, right? So that they wouldn't be alone. So when you say a shared load is a lighter load, I kind of understand it in terms of, parenting being overwhelming, right? But what really does that mean? A shared load is a lighter load? Because you can even look like that. Think about a shared load with the Lord is a lighter load.
Girl, look at you preaching out here. So I see you grabbed your copy of the Jump book.
Yes.
I want to start with a story in there for me, and then we can jump to that. Because when I wrote my chapter on the Jump book based on that, it had to do with my own personal struggles with pride.
Yeah.
I am that person, again, remember we talked about being highly functional.
Yeah.
I do a lot of things on my own, and asking for help is very hard for me. And that's why I use the word pride, because pride is a source of that, me asking for help, and very specifically around parenting. And when it came to me, very, very specific example I use in here, I have 2 daughters going to 2 different schools for the first time in a while, trying to figure out getting to work, getting them to school, how do I get them to dance? And my mother, I love her dearly. My mother is retired. She is not 30 anymore, right? She's got other responsibilities with other children, right? Exactly. And she's always ready and willing to do things. I did not want to immediately let me just ask and assume she wanted to do this, right? So I was trying to figure out, how do I get these kids here, that letter. I was complicating my life by not asking her. So I was trying to figure all this stuff out, and it just didn't work. So finally, I just said, let me just ask her. Immediately she said yes. Why didn't you ask me in the first place? She was happy, excited. She loves it. Literally, it's a part of her purpose.
Yeah.
To help me.
But so why do you think that people are always afraid to ask for help?
I was literally looking at you when we said this.
Why we do that? Because you know what? I don't like to ask for help.
I know it. That's why I looked at you.
Until but this Thanksgiving, I did ask for help.
Yeah.
I knew the food I wanted to get, right? The meats, right? I stopped at a honey baked ham, and I knew 2 people that I said that would not tell me no when it comes to whatever I want. So it was Dr. T. I said, hey, I need some greens. She said, I'll make you a bowl. I said, no, I need a pot.
She literally said
right.
a pot,
I said, I need a pot. Then I was talking to Nicole Anderson. Shout out to Nicole Anderson. And she works for Max Brooks, real estate agent. So shout out to her.
Out.
And so I said to her, I need some macaroni and cheese. She said, I'm making macaroni and cheese for Deborah. I'm making macaroni and cheese for Auntie. And I said, and you're making macaroni and cheese for Regina and my brothers. And she said, I got you.
But you know what, Regina? I just want to kind of go back a little bit. And so I'm putting you on spotlight right now. Regina has 2 brothers that I absolutely love. And so Regina was trying to figure out, even back when, how she can be the queen of Carlones and then take care of the needs of her brother. And because I have an extensive background, 25 years of working with people.
28.
It actually was 25 in one company. It's 30. It'll be 30 at the end of this month. Okay. And so it's a pleasure for me. It's actually my calling, like you were saying, Orma. It's my calling to stay connected and to that population, because that's my first love. And so it was nothing for me to tell Regina, I'll do it.
But tell them what you did. My brother, for everybody doesn't know, my brothers are special needs. I'm the baby. I have 2 older brothers, and I really didn't talk about it a lot when I was growing up. Everybody thought I was the only one, but no, I'm the baby.
Shout out to Chelsea and Bruce.
So really, being the baby, I'm actually the big sister because they're special needs, and that is Dr. T's background, and didn't know how the Lord was gonna. She's been in my life for years because she always supported me with cars. Had no clue that we were gonna take this world by storm with the radio, and now we're also gonna take it to the world. Next level is gonna be TV, right? Yeah. So with that, I didn't know that I needed help in that perspective. Now what she does is, I do the shopping. I mean, I do the shopping every month for my brothers. I actually don't do the shopping. Make a list. Actually, I don't make the list. I just get the little personal things. But anyway, Dr. T says, you know what? They need this many meals. They need this many snacks, or they need this extra. And she forms the meals. She shops. She knows. Me, I went in there one day. She said, I'm going to let you do it this month. You want to do it? Go ahead. I was in the store for 2.5 hours. I was in the store for 2.5 hours. And when she can go in and be in there in a less than a half because she knows what to get and where to get it.
But my point of saying all that is that when God gives you an area, that's your area of gifting. So when people want to help you, allow people to help you. Allow people.
I'm going to go back to her question, though. Yeah. Why are we like this?
Yeah. Why am I like that?
It's a variety of reasons. And I'm going to say, for some people, it is a trauma response.
Yes.
For some people, it's a trauma. For some people, not everyone. And I want to be very clear.
So I went through some trauma?
Not everyone. Though. Not everyone.
I was going to say when?
Not
everyone.
Not everyone. But some people just got used to being disappointed and not asking for help and not receiving it, being disappointed by people. For some people, you just had to be that person to do things, and so you just got used to doing it. And for other people, you developed this habit of getting things done. People relied on you, and you always did it. So there's no one answer to that question, right? So if you fit into one of those three categories, if you don't, you may have to sit on my couch. We need to figure it out.
So my trauma was this. My trauma was when I realized that my parents, I was a last resort. Right? I was the baby girl. Both of my brothers are special needs. It was like, you were the last resort, Regina. You were. And that kind of traumatized me in my head for years. You know why? It's because I was like, I had to be it. I had to do this. I had to do that. In my mind, it was like that. But not until after my dad passed, I realized I had to put my big girl drawers on. I had to realize, Regina, you got to walk by faith. You just can't do this and do that. You got to walk by faith. And my dad was a very spiritual man. And if anybody know me, I got a potty mouth, right? Potty mouth has gotten better over the years. Lord. Right, it's gotten better over the years. But I walk by faith now. And then when my mom passed, I had no choice. Because when my dad passed in 2008, I was like, I got my mama. People say, you know what? I got my mom. I had my mama then because I was close to my dad. But then I realized that after my mom went to be with God into glory, I had to realize, you got to really put your big penny, girl. You got to walk it. You got to talk it. But we got to take a break, and we'll be right back because this conversation is so much needed. I needed this conversation, so thank you, Dr. T, for turning 50 in January this coming, and thank you for allowing me to dedicate the show to you. I said I wasn't going to talk this much, but we're going to finish up our last part of our segment, and I think we need to, I know we do this for a half hour. We're supposed to do 30 minutes, but we probably need to figure out how we can do it, like you said, every quarter where we spend an hour. And we bring Dr. Irma back, right? And then we have people have questions, and they go to be in the driver's seat with questions. Maybe she can have her own some on our website that says that, and we have questions, and we drive for that show. It's every quarter, every 3 months?
Yes.
Okay. So maybe we can do it every 2 months. Let's do it every 2 months. Right.
We'll see what Dr.
We'll check our schedule out, but no, because we want to drive people. We want to drive because this mental is so strong.
Absolutely.
Right. All right, we'll be right back while we pay some bills. Joe Lunghamer keeps texting me. Now he calling Dr. T. You should see our holiday postcard we got.
Yes, it is beautiful, everybody. Look, so be on the lookout. For those of you we've partnered with, you will get your card soon.
So look, Joe said, is that me on there? I look good. I ain't even put no makeup on. That's what Joe said.
Oh.
He said I look good. He said, is that Dr. T? I said, he putting a doctor in front of it.
That's
he
right.
gives that respect regardless.
Come on
now. We'll be right back. Regina, the Queen of Carlones here with Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet. If you're looking to get into a new or used vehicle with affordable rates, I can get you financed today. My lenders are making unheard of deals where others simply cannot. This month, the first 10 people who buy a new or used car from me will get a $75 gift card to Times Square Men's Custom Suits on Livernois Avenue. Suits for all occasions. Ride in style with the Queen. Regina, the Queen of Carlones. Just Google Regina, the Queen of Carlones.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
My name is Marilyn Walker, and I am your advocate attorney. For over 25 years, I've helped your friends and neighbors by providing solid legal advice and strategy during difficult times. My clients will tell you that I am experienced, knowledgeable, caring, and reasonable. If divorce, custody, support, or visitation are critical issues facing you, stop worrying and call me, Marilyn Walker, the advocate attorney, at 248-332-2227. Allow a skillful lawyer to advocate for you. Looking to buy or sell your home? Whether you're relocating to Michigan from another state or another country, moving across town, upgrading, or downsizing, Brenda D. Davis from Century 21 Town and Country Real Estate is your locally known home purchase expert. Buying or selling your home is a complex process. Let Brenda simplify it every step of the way. Brenda D. Davis, the realtor that moves you. Call 248-909-9711 and get moving on your new home purchase or sale today. That's 248-909-9711. Call now.
Are you sinking farther and further in debt? Tired of living paycheck to paycheck? Facing garnishment, repossession, or foreclosure? Thinking of filing bankruptcy but still have questions? Call Lewis Law at 248-785-3780. Attorney Lewis has over 20 years of experience handling Chapter 7 and 13 bankruptcies. The bankruptcy code is complicated, and you need an experienced attorney to guide you through the process. We can take care of your bankruptcy and probate needs. Call Lewis and Law, 248-785-3780. We are a debt relief agency. We can help people file for bankruptcy under U.S. Bankruptcy Code. Paid non-attorney spokesperson.
We're back to Be in the Driver's Seat. I am your girl, Dr. T, and who is with me?
Queen, the queen, the queen, the queen.
There she go, y'all. She is singing today. And we have Miss Orma C. Smith, our therapist, author, and educator with us today. So, Orma, we're getting ready to wrap this session up. So let's kind of just talk to the listeners, those that are listening in right now. We're in the holiday season. Can you give us some self-care tips to get us through this season?
Yes. So we are in the holiday season. The weather is changing. It's getting colder outside. We have the tendency to want to just stay bundled up on that blanket on the couch with hot cocoa and watch TV and not leave, right?
Right. Come on, that
sounds real good, doesn't it? And that's okay sometimes. But if you find yourself wanting to do that more often and not leaving the house, I encourage you, I challenge you to at least try. If you're someone who works from home or doesn't have a job and you don't have to leave the house because of responsibility, I encourage you to try once or twice a week to find a reason to leave the house. Mm-hmm. Whether it's to visit someone, whether it's maybe to instead of doing Instacart or Shipt, to try to go out grocery shopping once a week, once every 2 weeks. Try to engage socially with another person, to get out and see the world, because social isolation, not getting out, can create mental and emotional health issues. It can contribute to them. It's very challenging for us. Social interaction is important. For some of us have social anxiety, and that can be challenging for you. So if that's the case, try FaceTiming somebody or using Google Duo, whatever works for you. But try not to keep yourself to the point where you're always by yourself all the time. Mm. We are also in a season where the sun, it's there. We know it's there. It's hiding from us. So our vitamin D levels are low. So talk to your doctor about an appropriate level of vitamin D supplements, or try to get a sun lamp. Mm-hmm. Because that also can impact your mood. And we don't want that happening. Get your vitamins in. Focus on your nutrition. Try to get an appropriate amount of exercise. Yay. I know you guys are like, what's wrong with her? Why is she saying that? All of those things are
cussing
important.
On the radio.
Exactly. Like, what's wrong? Exercise does not have to be anything complicated. Walk up and down your stairs a couple of times. That's exercise. Believe me, it really is. Just the idea of getting your heart rate going, getting it moving. So think about those things, making sure you're not isolated, making sure you're not sitting still too much, and getting in some healthy foods. Oh, we're moving into Thanksgiving. I'm sorry, didn't mean to hurt your feelings. After Thanksgiving, get back on it.
Get back on it. So you mean, Regina, you can have that macaroni and cheese for Thanksgiving? But
well,
Friday, get back on it.
It's past Thanksgiving, so I mean, Christmas.
Oh, yeah, Christmas.
So
sorry.
Christmas.
Well, every day is a day of Thanksgiving, honestly.
Christmas.
So let me just say that the holiday Thanksgiving has.
Let me just say this. As shout out to Stacy. Shout out to Dr. Stacy
Deering.
Yay!
Shout out Stacy D from the 313.
She is my coach on my wellness plan now. Shout out to her. But let me just say this. portion control. Portion control.
I'm gonna
So
pay for
I have
her
portion
some
control.
lessons this year, y'all. I'm gonna pay for Regina some singing lessons because we gonna
Portion
sing this year.
control.
We gonna sing this year.
Portion control. You know, when I was growing up, I was in the choir and I was alto.
Everybody was in the choir growing up.
Oh, you know what? That's why I'm not even gonna talk to you.
Shout out to
Shade.
shout out to Mr. Cordell. Pontiac Central had me in the choir saying.
But you know what? He was my at New Bethel back in the day.
Listen,
I don't go to New Bethel now. Shout out to my
Laura
pastor.
Williams,
Shout out to my pastor, Pastor Overseer Leon Porter. Shout out to him. Champion
Since
Church.
we giving out pastor nominations, shout out to Pastor Marlon J. Reed at 17235 Middlebelt Road in Livonia. And Orma, you might as well go on and shout your pastor out too.
Apostle Hugh Daniel Smith, Embassy Covenant Church International.
Come on.
Sorry, y'all got me laughing. I'm
Listen,
sorry.
Shout out to our pastors. Listen, Regina putting the Pastor Porter on the map.
That's
today.
right.
I love
That's right.
Pastor Porter
well, you
and
know
his
what?
wife.
Because this past Saturday, I was at I was on a panel. He had a panel discussion. They had entrepreneurs there at Wayne Community College in Belleville. And shout out to him because he is putting a lot of things together. And you guys just gotta, y'all gotta support. Y'all gotta know when you have the great man of God in front of you and somebody that's blessed you. You gotta know that. You really gotta know that. Yeah. But let me just swift gears a little bit because I know y'all gotta go back to y'all segment, finish that up. But on the 12th, no, it's not the 12th. What date do we have these three wonderful gentlemen in the studio?
So 3 wonderful. So
Is it 2 or is it 3?
We have 2 right now.
Okay,
so
it's 2.
I'm excited. So we are excited for our show that is going to be on December the 12th. December the 12th, we have Pastor Carl Reed from Commission that's coming on with us. He has secured that spot and time, so we're excited for him. And I'm just waiting to hear back from Mitchell Jones. We also will have on that day as well another surprise guest. So we're just waiting before I announce the name, Regina. So I want you all to get ready to listen to Be in the Driver's Seat in December for a special guest that's coming in from Commission. I'm excited for my pastor, Carl Reed. So you all stay tuned. And also want to shout out those that have been participating with Be in the Driver's Seat. We're asking you now, if you are listening, please go over to our page, BeInTheDriver'sSeat.com, and register to subscribe to us so that you can see the things that we have coming. Also, like us on Facebook and Instagram. Go to our page. And if you're on BeInTheDriver'sSeat.com, you'll get to see past shows. You'll get to see when we were in the studio live. And that's something we are doing, our podcast. Be on the lookout. And also stay tuned. If you are listening and you want to advertise your business on Be in the Driver's Seat, please contact me, Dr. T or Regina on Facebook. You can inbox us. If you want to call me directly, you can, 248-214-6678. We have a package that's set up just for you. And also for all of those business owners, if you want your link to be put on our website, please contact us. We have a package just for you. You can go, any person who comes to our website, they can click on your link, and whatever service you're offering, they'll be privy to see those services. So if you're listening today, please go to BeInTheDriver'sSeat.com, subscribe, and look in to see what we have going on. Also contact me at 248-214-6678 if you would like to advertise or if you would like to get your link added to our page. Don't forget to listen to us at Tuesday, this past Tuesday, for those of you who listened. I hope you all saw who our winners was for Dorinda Clark Cole. That concert was absolutely amazing.
Yes,
so
it was.
I hope you all went, and we will be right over here with Regina and I.
Yeah, but talk about the Detroit Pistons event we got coming up, and
some upcoming events. So I forgot about. Shout out to Natasha Lee of That Girl. Natasha Lee of That Girl. She has brought us on to be the media group that day. So we will be at the Detroit Pistons and Lakers game on December the 11th, Sunday, December the 11th at 7 p.m. when the game starts. We will be doing live interviews, and we will also be giving away T-shirts from DJ Cuddy grateful line. So if you all are listening and you would like to come, please look at Natasha Lee's page. She has a link to where you can go and buy tickets at a discounted price on her link, and we want to see you there. So hopefully we'll get that opportunity to interview you.
And then also, if you want us to give away something at the game, you can always inbox one of us and let us know what you want to give away, and you can always bring it to us. Every day, I'm at Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet, located at 475 Summit Drive, Waterford, Michigan, 48328. You can always drop it off there. Also, we got some good things coming up. Actually, I went to the Lighthouse event, Lighthouse fundraiser on Saturday. Shout out to Daryl Anderson and Mama Rosa Randolph, and we actually we won that we bid. We didn't vote. I mean, we bid. Yeah. We won the bid, and we had
to spend some money. Huh?
And so we have a tour of Channel 2 Studios coming up next year. So stay tuned. We have some great people we're going to take along with us. So stay tuned to find out those people that are going to come along with us to Channel 2 Studios.
Yes. So we're excited. Come on, y'all. We're excited for that. So now we're at the tail end of the segment. So Orma, for all the listeners that have been on, we've talked about some good stuff today. We talked about emotional self-regulation. We talked about being at the end of our very own road. We talked about being an intercessor, a minister. We talked about the book. Tell people who are listening, how can they get in contact with you?
So you can contact me on my website at ormasmithconsulting.com. That's ORMA smithconsulting.com. You can also call me at 313-241-0459, or you can email me at ormasmithconsulting@gmail.com.
So, Orma, are you actively taking speaking engagements?
I am actively taking speaking engagements, and if you go on the website, there is a booking form on there.
Okay, so kind of talk to us about the topics that you speak on.
So I have a variety of topics that I speak on, including stress management, emotional self-regulation, self-care, healthy relationships and boundaries, spiritual and mental, emotional health, college access and success. I can also tailor those as well, depending on what your needs are in the realm of mental health, as well as school counseling topics.
So I'm super excited, everybody. Orma Smith is a powerful force for healing and change. Her core belief is that everyone is gifted, and her life's purpose is to help as many people as possible realize their, now say that word,
raison d'etre.
Raison d'etre, and that is the reason for being. Her personal motto is be light. And what is that, Orma?
It's be light.
Yes.
Yes.
Just be the light,
Just
right?
Be the light, yes.
And she desires to bring joy, peace, and enlightenment into the lives of all whose path she crossed. So, Orma, we're so excited that you joined us today. We're looking forward to many more collaborations. Thank you so much. And give your number and website one more time for us.
Phone number is 313-241-0459. Website, ormasmithconsulting.com.
So you heard it here. So we're so excited. And Orma, we appreciate you coming in. And to all of those that are listening, thank you so much for listening to Be in the Driver's Seat. I am Dr. T. And
I am Regina. We'll be right back as we take our last break so we can finish up the show. Regina, the Queen of Caroline's here with Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet. If you're looking to get into a new or used vehicle with affordable rates, I can get you financed today. My lenders are making unheard of deals where others are simply cannot. This month, ladies, I'm hooking you up with hair and makeup from Glamorous Rebel Hair and Beauty in Sterling Heights for the first 10 people who buy a new or used car from me. You'll be riding in style with the Queen, Regina the Queen of Car Loans. Just Google Regina the Queen of Car Loans.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
Regina the Queen of Car Loans here with Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet. If you're looking to get into a new or used vehicle with affordable rates, I can get you financed today. My lenders are making unheard of deals where others simply cannot. This month, the first 10 people who buy a new or used car from me will get a $75 gift card to Times Square Men's Custom Suits on Livernois Avenue. Suits for all occasions. Ride in style with the Queen, Regina the Queen of Car Loans. Just Google Regina the Queen of Car Loans.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
So we're back, and it's just me and my homegirl, my sis, Dr. T, in the studio. And I kind of want just to wrap up a little bit about the mental health, the mental wellness, mental awareness.
This was such a great show today, Regina. We always have a great show, but today was near and dear. So if you're listening today and there are questions that you have, please, 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 you can inbox me on Facebook at Dr. T, or you can go right to our email address, beinthedriverseat@gmail.com, and ask those questions. I also want to drive you to our page, www.
So I think what we need to do is we need to drive them to, if they have questions, we got to drive them to one place.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think the one place would, if they have Facebook, should be to you.
Yes.
And I say not to be in the driver's seat because you know everybody knows Facebook, that goes to a phone, right?
Yeah,
and so if that goes, then that goes to me, and that means I control a few pages. The Queen of Carol, Regina, the Queen of Carol owns, the Joe Lunghamer page, my personal page. I have like 4 pages that I manage. So we really want to drive you somewhere that is going to get right to the source, and that's Dr. T. What you want to do? Message on Facebook, or you want to do your email?
So I was going to say, if you have Facebook, then you can inbox me on Facebook, but we be in the driver's seat have their own email. So
are you giving them 2 choices, Dr. T? Give them
let
one.
Let me give you one choice.
Please.
Then you can go to, for those that have Facebook, you can go on Facebook and inbox me on Facebook with your questions, and we will definitely ask your questions right here on Be in the Driver's Seat. Also, if there's topics that you are interested in, we definitely want to bring those topics to light. So please don't hesitate to inbox me. If you have Facebook, you can inbox me at Dr. Teresa Moore.
And the reason that we spent a lot of time talking about this, because everybody needs to get their mind together. You know, we had a very successful young lady that we thought was successful right on the outside. And I don't think she was Miss America, she was Miss something. And she was in a beauty pageant, and she jumped off a building. And anytime you jump off a building, you 99% of the time you're gonna pass away, especially when you jump off a huge building, right?
That's huge though, Regina. But before she jumped off the building, that means that there was some drastic things going on in her life, and she felt like life was easier for her to end her life versus to face what was happening in her life.
Yeah. So totally agree, Dr. T. So we're reaching out to you, and if you listen to our beginning of our show, intro and outro is, we talk about cars, we talk about credit, and then we talk about mental what?
Wellness.
Mental wellness. So we're bringing that strong to you this morning because it's the holidays, and we want you to do better because you can. What's the word? You can do better because
when you know better,
you do better. So when you know better, you do better. If we didn't leave you with anything this morning, is if you know better, you do better. Whether it's coming to your mental health, whether it's coming to buying a car, or coming to your credit, if you do better, if you know better, you'll do better. And that's very key. And it doesn't matter what you have, how much money you make, what you drive, where you live, what your zip code is, it does not matter. If you know better, you do better. Mm-hmm. What one thing do you want to leave our listeners with this morning?
Don't suffer in silence. If you know that you are dealing with some things and you need some help, please reach out to a mental health therapist. If you know that there's something going on in your body and you feeling off, there is help available for you. Do not suffer in silence. Because despite where you are in the world, you can go to www.psychology.com and put in your zip code, and there's a therapist name that will come up for you.
And so the great thing about it, too, is if you have a loved one live in another state, you can go to beinthedriverseat.com, and they can download the episode and listen to our past episodes. Our episodes, when they air on Saturday, within 24 hours, sometimes the same day, they're on the website. So go to beinthedriverseat.com. Listen to our pages, listen to our past shows, not our pages, I'm sorry. Listen to our past shows or share it with a friend. And if you want to listen live on Saturday, you can always drop the app. The app is?
Our app at being a driver's seat?
No, it's Detroit Praise.
You talking about on Detroit
Praise
Network.com.
Yeah. Every Saturday morning you can listen to the show if you in your car or somewhere and you can't get it in your car and you're out of the area.
Yes.
Download the app and you can listen anywhere in the United States. And you guys have a great week. And we'll hope you're here same time, same place next Saturday. Have a good week. Happy Saturday.
You've been listening to Be in the Driver's Seat with Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and mental health expert, Dr. Teresa Moore.
Brought to you by Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet of Waterford.
Be in the Driver's Seat, a Saturday morning mix of cars, credit, and wellness created just for you. From Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and Dr. Teresa Moore, thank you for listening.